Good afternoon. It's April the 13th, 2017. Time to wrap up this week's trading. Tomorrow is a holiday. We'll have news tomorrow, but all markets and exchanges will be closed, so get the day off. Our customary disclaimer. Hypothetical simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Okay, on the E-mini we came in, we had a sell basically 23.40, 23.45. Our number 2 sell was 44.46. We had a high at 45. Okay, remember this. When the E-mini moves, makes a directional move, pause, move, in 1.5 to 2 hours, it's ready to move again. With treasuries, it's 2 to 3 hours, so it's a faster mover. So this was 2 hours, and the market started its move and went down. This first trade up here, good for 6, 5.5 to 6, scratch, a point, scratch, and right down here on these 3, plus, beautiful trade off that white line right there. Nice little head and shoulders to retest the low. It makes a new low, and small winner. Take the second B, good for a point. So some good trading in the morning, some good trading right here, punctuated by a lot of downtime. Not a lot of volatility to work with. I was guessing that we would close it during this part of the day in the 23.40 area above yesterday's close. Right now it looks like we're headed lower, maybe a 23.25, 27 close if we can take out this 30 area right here. So it looks like it is headed lower. The buying this morning was attributed to the strong bank earnings. The selling this afternoon as people looked how the banks, where the banks' earnings came from and the problem areas for future earnings, and they're selling the banks. So I mean, it's just hard to make a lot of sense out of it, but our guess on the market has been that it's selling because we're getting lower highs. On today's F1 screen, a lower high, lower low, find a place to sell it. On our F2 chart, that will be confirmed. And there's a new distribution down that started in G period, so we've got a B working, and the low volume number right down here was 31. It has now moved down to 29. We've got some volume down here in this 22, 23 area, so 20 to 25 would be the next little support band. If the market were to close right here, we'd be trying to sell 34s, 36s, and 39.41s. Try to buy 25s, 27s, then 19s to 21s. The last rotate down stopped at 18. And we've been talking about retesting that level for the last 3 days. So maybe it'll happen late this afternoon. Don't think so. But again, you have to make your assessments and try to figure out what's coming next, and then that keeps you from reacting. We want you to have thought the possibilities you want out before. We want you to game it so you're not caught reacting. Being plan ahead, you can get some stuff done at your price, not at the market's price. Okay, if the E-mini happens to sell on Monday, my guess is that treasuries will be higher, and gold. Higher low, higher high. Market is trading up. I'll fold this back in. Weakness in the E-mini, we said that would be the biggest factor today, and it turned out to be that way. Market sold early, then it came back when the E-mini started to top out. Pretty strong market, dealing with a P if we do an M split back here. Retested that high, then some. So the breakout has been retested and it's held, so the market technically is pointed higher. Right now, 3 to 7, sell 1. 11 to 15, sell 2. On the buy side, 25-29, buy 1. 17 to 21, buy 2. We have the Empire State Manufacturing on Monday and the Housing Market Index on Monday. So not a big news days. There'll be a lot of talk, there'll be a lot of chatter about foreign affairs and what's changing and the dynamic is changing. So tomorrow's retail sales news will be the biggest piece of news for the United States outside of foreign affairs going into next week. And the markets will be closed when that hits, which is unusual. A lot of times they'll move that news up a day to make sure that it gets in while the market is open. Okay, pretty tight. The knob spread came in today. 28 to the buck is number 1. 3 to 7 is sell 1. And 15 to 19, sell 2. On the buy side, 16 to 20, number 1. 9 to 13, buy 1. I think the E-mini is still kind of in a sell mode, so I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive to the buy side. Buy 2 will be 1 to 5. Won't open that up. Gold. Pretty darn strong when you look at it right there. So F1 says find a place to buy it. Got a P on F2, find a place to buy it. So 83.85, buy 1. 81.79, buy 2. On the sell side, 90 to 92. Don't really like that trade. But that's where resistance is, then 95 to 97 for sell 2. Support and resistance is or are what it is, right? And you gotta get through that first before you can go on. Get to the second one. Crude. Got a buyer 52.75 to 53. Got a seller at 53.75, 54. We have an inside day, so that's got trading range, and this thing's just been a very, very slow trade. Again, I don't think anybody on the spec side of the ledger, by definition, is going home short crude. Producers are taking advantage of higher prices, no doubt, but the spec seller in gold, crude, and treasuries is probably out of the market. Doesn't mean that they're right, but the risk is just higher than they probably want to stomach. 53 1/4, 53.50, sell 1. 53.75, 54, sell 2. This sell is very aggressive, but it is where resistance is. On the buy side, got a B, think we can trade lower, 52.50, 52.75, buy 1. 52 even, 52 1/4, buy 2. And last but not least, the euro. Trump's statement that he'd like to lower dollar to help our export game was taken literally by the currency markets. Higher low, higher high, but a very weak close. So F1 says we can buy it. And F2, definitely a B. And we had new selling start in H period, G period. So we're pointed lower. So 6 1/4, buy 1. 6 even, buy 2. 106, 60 to 70, sell 1. And then 90 to the buck, sell 2. Any Trump administration officials talking about a weaker dollar will take the euro higher, but I think rallies will be sold. And we made a ton of loot over the last 3 or 4 years just by waiting 2 days to sell when it rallies. Okay, that does it for this April the 13th, 2017. You all have a great weekend. It is Easter weekend. Has huge meaning for the Christian world. Enjoy your time off, and we'll see you bright and early Monday morning. I'm out of here.